MiniWarGaming's Beat Map Batrep!
Welcome back to Beat Map Batrep, Season 2, Episode 9, our Cities of Death Battle Report, Dark Eldar vs. Necrons. So Necrons turn 2. First off, my Necron Ghost Arc moves up, and then positions itself so it can start firing at his vehicles, and try to get my guys in rapid fire range as well. These swarms move up on the one flank, and they move up on the other flank. And in retrospect, I probably should have put these all together in one big group, but I wanted to see what would happen if I could have smaller groups as well. The Immortals move up, trying to be able to see through the window at the vehicles hiding in that building, so they can try to take them down, because they have moved flat out, so glancing hits do have the potential to destroy them quite easily, actually. A 1 out of 3 chance if they do get some glancing hits, which with Gauss weapons and the strength 5 shots from the destroyers should happen. So I grabbed that objective back because he was just off of it, and then I opened fire. So the first group opened fire on the one raider, and I actually managed to immobilize it, and it was wrecked because of that, because it had moved flat out. And so this guy's emergency disembark on the other side. Then I opened fire on his raider with all the Necron warriors inside, but only managed to do a crew shaken result. But it can't fire next turn, which is good, but that was a lot of shots and not able to do any damage to him. And then firing at his next raider, he actually fails his cover save, and I get 1 hit off with the Immortals and manage to wreck that vehicle, and they disembark as well. I attempt to assault on the one side with my Scarab Swarms, but they don't roll very high in the difficult terrain. And then the other Scarab Swarms assault into the group of Dark Eldar right there. He's hitting them back, but he's actually failing pretty miserably with his independent guys, but now the main group of guys is attacking. He does a lot of wounds, and he manages to do 7 wounds in total, killing 2 swarms and bringing the other one down to only 2 wounds. I get to hit back with my 5 attacks, but I only manage to do 1 wound, which he fails to save, but he does get the feel no pain. So I take 7 extra wounds, and of course I die. So that was a bit of a waste to charge those Scarab Swarms into that group. But it was a learning experience as well. The next turn he moves up one of his raiders, getting ready to disembark. Then he moves up his guys to get ready to charge against the warriors. So this is where it's going to start to get bloody, because, well, Necrons weren't really built for close combat, as we're going to find out. And then that's only a 12-inch movement right there, so he's able to disembark his other guys on this side to assault the Ghost Arc, who's only moved at combat speed, so he won't be too difficult to hit. And they have their special grenades, which auto-glance on 2 pluses and auto-penetrate on 6s. So that works out quite well for him. He moves away from the Scarab Swarms, a little worried about them. I'm surprised he didn't go after my Overlord at that point, because he probably could have moved up and done a lot of damage to him. Grabs this objective. It is now his again. Opens fire with his Flamers. Now he did this a little wrong, because I forgot that my Immortals were 3+ saves, and so he rolled them all together. And so you're going to see little discrepancies with the numbers there, but I lost 5 guys in total, not the 7 guys that you see right there. And so that shouldn't be 8, that should be like 6. But you see it in 5 in total by the end, because I actually made a lot of the saves. And I do lose a warrior to some pistol fire as well. And then he does open fire against my death marks. It manages to wound a couple of them, but I do save one of those. So one of them goes down, but they are going to have to make a test. So these guys, the Immortals, do not run, and the death marks do run, which means the one guy that could have come back dies automatically. He does not get the chance to come back, and they are now fleeing. I fail all 5 of the reanimation protocols rolls for the Immortals, and none of them come back, so that was a major loss right there. Because even on a 5+, I should have made 1 or 2 of those. And then he double charges into my Warriors and Immortals, and he tosses his grenades at my Ghost Arc, and manages to get 2 hits, and 2 glancing hits. One of them was a weapon destroyed, which he actually destroyed the weapons on the other side, so I won't be able to shoot at him. And the other one was a crew stunned, and then he did a crew shaken. Now I ignore the crew shaken because of living metal on a 2+, and I roll 4+ to ignore the crew stunned, and I do not ignore that. I don't manage to get the 4+, so I will not be able to fire anything in the next round. So I will need to disembark. In close combat, I lose a couple of my warriors. I actually made a lot of the saves right there. If you caught that, that was a lot of 4+ saves. Then he attacks my Immortals, manages 1 wound, and he dies, and so that's one of them down. And then attacks with a couple of his other guys against mine, and I do manage another save. So only a couple of Immortals and a couple warriors have gone down. His Homunculus thing gets to attack as well, and manages 1 wound, which I do save. I get to hit back with my warriors against him. I manage 5 hits and 5 wounds, and he makes all 5 4+ saves. Then my Immortals attack, and they fail miserably. So I do lose combat. The warriors do not run. They have to make 6 or less, but the Immortals do run. So you won't be able to overtake them, but since they're below half strength, they're not going to be able to regroup, so I just take them off the table. Do the reanimation protocol, and one of the warriors does manage to come back. So the warriors proving to be more hardy than the Immortals. Those Immortals just failed all their saves, and they made a couple other saves, but they failed all their reanimation protocols, and it's just not looking very good over there on that side of the table. So this large group of warriors still locked up in combat. These groups getting ready. Current score is 5-3 for the Dark Eldar. They have 5 objectives. I have 3. My Ghost Dark in the middle, all shaken, but still has the guys and the Lord inside, and I still have my Lich Guard as well. So, part 3 is up. There's a link below if you're on MiniWarGaming, or you can click on the annotation right here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video on Facebook or on YouTube, and put a comment below what you think the Necrons can do to make sure that they win before you watch the next part.